Because what some of you need to understand is you've been delivered from a demon, but you've not pulled down the stronghold yet. You got to get rid of the triggers on that iPhone. You got to get rid of the triggers on that Netflix. You got to lose her number. You got to lose his number. The demon comes out when you expel it. The stronghold comes down when you demolish it with the Bible.
That was a church. What you just watched was a pastor. His name is Greg Locke. And he tried to symbolically destroy Barbie by wielding a baseball bat with a Bible taped to it. And he's just destroying Barbie's Dreamhouse. So why? What's the point of all this? So in advance of the Barbie movie's release, he chose to use the film Central Dreamhouse as a visual aid during a sermon about calling out demons and destroying their strongholds. And during this sermon, just before the film's release, Locke spent a pretty good amount of time preaching about demons of the flesh in front of a drop cloth draped prop before he revealed it to be Barbie's Dreamhouse that was standing in for the stronghold demons like porn and whatnot. Like, listen, if the Barbie movie and Barbie's Dreamhouse immediately makes you think of porn, I think you got the problem. You got the problem. But nonetheless, let's watch more.
But if you don't teach the person to break down the stronghold that the enemy built, and they have no discipline, they're always going to feel like they have a demon, when really what they need to do is just control their flesh. We drive demons out all the time. But we've not reached a place where we understand you have to pull down the stronghold that the demon left behind. Because I'm gonna tell you something. When you cast out the spirit of sexual perversion, it's gotta leave. So does the person still struggle with porn because they still have a demon? No, they still struggle with porn because the fortified house is still there.
What does this have to do with Barbie again? Like, what? I mean, listen, if this is helping him get through some stuff in his life, all right, I guess.
Yeah, no, I actually think that it makes some sense. Wait, what? Okay, I'll explain. First, let me explain the obvious ways that it doesn't make sense, and then I'll come back around to why there's some logic to it. So number one is, so there's sexual perversion in the Barbie Dreamhouse, he says. Why? How? I don't know that anybody even charged sexual perversion before this guy got into it. Generally speaking, tiny little girls have Barbie Dreamhouse. My daughter has one. And it's usually well before puberty, because then once they get into puberty and they get into the teenage years, then they become embarrassed about it usually and get rid of it and etc. Right? But it has. If you said to me, name something that doesn't have to do with sex, Barbie would be near the top of the list, because
she doesn't even have genitals. Neither does Ken. I don't. Yeah, what are we doing? What's happening?
Exactly. This is insanity, right? And he wrapped the bat in a Bible, which is, I think, incredibly disrespectful, right? And then he used it to smash things. I'm pretty sure that's not what Jesus meant when he said turn the other cheek. I'm pretty sure he didn't. He's like, remember, you drive out the money changers, but first, drive out Barbie and her dream house. We're building a Mojo Dojo Casa house here. I think that was it the Old or the New Testament? Definitely by definition. Matthew. Okay, anyways. So, and then he throws the Bible on the ground along with the bat. So look, you get it. Demons and they have strongholds. For the rest of us, this sounds like absolute lunacy. That part's easy, right? So why is he doing it? So there's two reasons why. One is preachers are the original talk show hosts, and the Bible is the original movie. It's what is it called sometimes? The greatest story ever told. And back then there was no movies, there wasn't even radio, not even AM radio back in the day. And so people got around a campfire and told crazy stories, and then they collected those stories and turned them into the Bible. Oh, the walking on water. Oh, no way, really? He brought people back from the dead. Wow, sick. In the Quran, by the way, there's tons of stories just like that, because you had to tell these amazing, captivating stories to get people's attention. So, but now there are much greater forms of entertainment, and there are actual talk shows that have kind of replaced old school evangelical religious leaders. So this brother's trying to keep up, as he's trying to keep up with the Alex Jones of the world and the Tucker Carlsons of the world, the new age preachers. He's having to go crazier and crazier to get that attention. And that is part of why he's doing this now. And finally, to come to why there is a lot of logic in it, this is the culture wars. It's between people who believe in the old culture. No, we follow whatever's in the Bible, even though it's contradictory and all the different problems that it has. And it was written by a rabbi 2,500 years ago, and obviously doesn't apply to anything in today's world. But no, we have to stick with it. And there's certain people we have to hate, and et cetera, right? Against the new culture, which is, no, we don't have to listen to rules from thousands of years ago. And yes, we're affected by the entertainment that surrounds us, whether it's the movie Barbie, or it's this Netflix, or the cell phone that he referred to. So in a sense, he is fighting back in those culture wars in a symbolic way by doing that. And the reason he looks crazy is because that side is losing the culture wars. That's why it looks nutso to the great majority of Americans. In the old days, that would have made sense. In this day, he looks like an anachronistic fool.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.